Good morning, everybody. How's everyone on this Wednesday? If it's Wednesday, it is Instagram Live here with the simple truth on everything insane that's been going on in the last few months. Hey, Carrie's popped on. Hey, Coy. How you doing? Today we are joined by two of my favorite people in the mom space, Kat and am inviting here now. If you don't follow Kat and Nat, hop right over to their page, ASAP. Follow them for all things mom truth. Oh, ladies.
You
Hey,
look
girl.
really pretty.
I know she does, and your hair is like the idea of my hair. But when I wear my hair like that, I wear it for 2 minutes and then I put it back and put it here.
What's going on?
Okay, girls, I tried really hard. I put like just enough makeup on so it looked like I was trying. But
You're doing
not
it. Don't put your hair
enough
back. It looks so good.
Okay, well then I'll put my hair up like you guys.
No,
You look so good.
No.
She's
I'm,
jealous.
I'm cool. I'm cool.
Lynn.
As one does in a pandemic, they try and be comfortable.
You look. I'm just Instagram. I'm Instagramming the Insta live. So there we go.
Also, Lynn, I saw that your koi came on. I don't mean to be inappropriate, but he is so cute. I know he's married and everything, and so am I. But the first time I saw him, I was like,
Ew.
it's co-host of yours?
Okay, so you're talking about Coy Wire, right?
Oh, this is a different one?
This is a different one who's equally as hot, Coy. Coy, you're
Koi's
equally
a
as
hot
hot.
woman.
But Coy Wire, I will send a shout out to that Nat may have a little bit of a crush on you.
I do.
You're not the only one, Nat. I will tell you. There are a couple ladies in the CNN headquarters that kind of slided in there that Coy could do a live shot shirtless at the beach.
So
if
we
he wants
need to
That
do
wouldn't be
a
terrible.
live with. I get it. Yeah.
Yes, and he's very cute. And then I took a deep dive. I was like, is he single? Not that it mattered. And then I saw just like they got
Beautiful
engaged.
family, right?
The
You saw like
family.
the gorgeous wife and the beautiful baby, and you insta stalked.
Anyways, that's even hotter. Let's be real.
Hi girls. I have
Hi.
water in my wine glass just because I was in the mood to have a happy hour, but of course
Well,
then
we
I
have
have to take care
a
of.
plethora
There
of
you go.
liquor sitting
Mhm.
behind us for
Oh.
Thursday night. So there you
I've been watching your happy hours and it's giving me joy since all I have right now are my Zoom happy hours with my girls. So actually that's why I
river
wore the
behind you?
sweatshirt
Yeah,
because
what's
I've worn it
behind
every
you?
single Zoom happy hour. And it's my quarantine sweatshirt, and I'm just gonna kind of like frame it when this is all said and done.
It kind of looks like a bomber jacket. It looks really cool. And is there a pool, a river, a pond? What's behind you?
Yeah, that is a pond. We came to South Carolina for a little quarantine escape.
I love
We
it.
are doing this all wrong.
I know.
You're
You're doing it wrong, ladies.
All wrong. We're gonna get it together.
It's all wrong.
Is
You're doing
there
it
any
all
water
right.
anywhere nearby? Because just go, and it is a miracle for the mental health.
It's so true. We always say, like, you could, if you sit around in a room without fire or water, it's just weird. But you put on a fire or there's water, and you could sit for hours.
It's
Hours.
you can lie by a pool. It's not weird. Lie in the backyard with nothing there. A bit weird,
But if
you
you
know.
had a pond behind you, you would think like a crocodile was going to eat you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There are a few of those here. Also, I have, there's so many people chiming in. First, you guys on comments of just, oh my gosh, I love you girls, and how much that you have helped so many people get through this time with your humor. Someone from Brazil that's chimed in. I mean, I think it's what you've always done really well, but people kind of need you more now than ever. You've found laughter in this chaos of parenting. And I kind of want to just get your take on how you're still finding that when you've got 7 kids between the two of you.
This is really funny, Lynn, you say this because we have a 6 to teen group where we bring in experts and therapists, and they constantly come in and they give insight into parenting and how to work with your children, because often you become a parent and you don't realize you have to parent them. Like, you just think you have to take care of them, but then you realize you have to parent them. And we had a therapist on, and he was like, some people deal with stress and difficult situations with optimism and laughter, and that's a coping skill. So I don't know if we actually plan on it or if that's our coping skill. Do you know what I mean?
Some
Like,
people
totally.
cry.
some people binge eat, some people
Oh.
don't eat.
I've been doing a little bit of that too.
Yeah.
A little bit of the binge eating.
Yes. But we love
No,
to
I know
laugh.
what you mean.
I don't think we know what else to do. We don't know how to be sad, which is probably a problem in itself. But, there's no option for us because this is our reality. So you kind of take your reality each day and you deal with it and you move on, because what's the point in wishing what is or what isn't? You just do what is.
And the kids walk into your room in the morning and they look at you and they want your first reaction. And what they want to see is they want to see mommy happy. No matter how she feels, they don't really want to see her upset, mad, or crying. They want to see her say morning.
And we made a really conscious, and this is not to make people feel bad at all, but we made a really conscious decision in the beginning to let our kids know that being home with them isn't a terrible thing. And that we want them to remember this, that we were happy to be with them. And there are moments of stress and they get annoyed with us and we get annoyed with them. But at the end of the day, when Nat said, I feel like our kids are really lucky. They'll come out of COVID thinking what a great time they had, because we tried to make, like, every Friday I set up an ice cream shop and my kids get to go to the ice cream shop and they get to do it like at my house and they get to do get whatever they want. They can't finish it, but it is the note. Never, they're like, is it Friday? And we try to just set things up for them that make them
look forward to something.
And just remind them, that endless days are kind of like the time they'll never get back. And really it's the mental game right now. And we just try to flip the script that, like, this is the normal and it's not terrible.
But I also want to say, on the flip side, when I was like, having a day when the 4 kids were just like,
the days.
So I went on a little walk on my street and I ran into a mom who has young twins and a young daughter. And I was just like, I mean, this is just, when is this going to end? She's like, actually, we're really having a great time inside here. And I was like,
makes me feel bad about life.
You crafted so much.
Like, you know what I mean?
Totally.
Both
So
ways.
much crafting.
No, we definitely have moments where we call each other and we're like, this has to end.
Help
now.
me,
This
help
has
me.
to end.
Help
But
me.
overall, we just try to drink and have fun.
As you did before. But I mean, the other thing is your kids get so much time with you. I know that you were on this, like, incredible tour, your fun show and your book tours. You were traveling a ton. That is so hard with the mom guilt and all of that. But at the same time, you went on Instagram and you were like, I'm not going to apologize for missing traveling for work. I'm not going to apologize having some time to myself.
We just said we missed that.
Oh,
We missed
I know,
that.
right?
We missed tour. We missed
And
it.
the crazy thing is that when we traveled, it's like we felt like they missed us so much. But now that we're with them all the time, if we literally leave to go to the bathroom, it's like they're mad that we left. It's like it's never enough. So it just has to be whatever you put inside your head, and the conversation, the dialogue, that you're a good mom no matter what. If you're traveling for a week, a month, like we were, that's just the way it is. It doesn't mean that you're not a good mom. And if you're with them all the time, it's like it's never gonna be good enough.
It's never good enough. Unless they can crawl back in your womb,
They try.
Like, they're like, I want to.
try.
Yeah.
I said that to my husband the other day because we were sitting there and my 1.5-year-old was literally just crawling on me, never stopping and screaming, Mom. And I'm like, I'm right here. And I said, he literally wants back in the womb.
Yes.
I cannot believe your baby is 1.5.
I know. And the other one's almost 4.5.
Yesterday.
Because the first time I think I interviewed you, I was either pregnant with my first or I just had my first. And I was like, guys, this is really hard. How do you have 4? How do you have 3?
I
This
know.
is really hard.
I
Okay, so
know.
it didn't get easier. But it got better in the sense that I've looked to women like you. I've looked to my girlfriends, my mom friends that all feel the same way. And so we keep each other sane in that regard.
Remember, everyone has an easier phase. And, like, for me, babyhood was not easy, but I am finding now that I can leave a room without worrying about one of them dying. Like, that's easier for me, where you're not like, what are you, that's a relief for me, where some people love to hold them all the time. For me, I'm like, go and don't die. But, and I can cook something without worrying about the stairs or, what are you, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we're in the stairs mode and the don't put something in your mouth mode. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is a terrible feeling because you're like, grapes. Oh God, who knew you had to cut grapes? Like, popcorn. Oh my God, hot dogs. Like, that for me was worse than having to parent, if that makes sense.
No, it does. And one of my really good girlfriends, Courtney Walker, I put up, ask Cat and Nat questions, and she's like, what do you do or how do you guys manage the mom guilt, whether it's traveling or just getting out right now to go do something on your own, even sitting in your car by yourself, which I've done a couple times.
Yes. It's the office, Lynn. The car is the office.
It's
the
also
spa.
the person.
It's our everything.
But I mean, how do you guys deal with that?
I mean, I have to say I'm not the type of person who lays in bed at night and like goes over and over about how I could do it different the next day, because I honestly I look at everything I do and I'm like, geez, you're nailing it.
You are nailing it.
And I think guilt.
You know,
I'm missing that emotion.
I think, okay, we've traveled a lot and talked to thousands of women, and you know, in a way, when you think about guilt, it's sort of a privilege to have this guilt feeling, because a lot of people are just doing the best they can. And you know, it's kind of like when you equate it to people who are self-deprecating, and you know, they're like super fit and like, I'm so fat, you know what I mean? And you're like, but then you're not. Like, I think that guilt and shame and mom judging all go together. So if you can really flip in your brain that when you parent and live in guilt, you're teaching your children you're doing something wrong. And then we just perpetuate this cycle of us never being enough in society for women. And for like, men don't sit there and beat themselves up with guilt. So I think that when you look at this thing as guilt and you're like, you know, it's number one, a privilege to have these feelings of not being enough when women are doing everything they can every day. And number two, we have to women don't celebrate themselves. We don't celebrate success. We beat each other up for being something other than we expect people to be. And I really think it starts with us. And if you can begin to just accept that, you know, you're doing a great job and celebrate that, I think that will change a whole conversation in society of women. And I just think that, you know, it starts with us. And when we talk and think about guilt, we pass it on to our girls most likely, and we're teaching our boys we're doing something wrong, but we're not.
Yeah.
So
we do like to analyze a lot about how our husbands feel in a situation and how we do, and how we're trying to like bring that like closer. Although like moms naturally just have this like thing that everything needs to fall on them, and most of it actually does, not in every circumstance, but definitely in the majority. But we always say, let's just be more like that.
Let's just flip the script and celebrate ourselves. Like, we celebrate you. Like, I'm a great mom. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I make mistakes and not every day is perfect, but you're showing your kids that not everything is perfect. And that's the best thing you can do. And just think we really have to stop. I think us as women have to stop this thing that we're doing something wrong by doing the best we can, because think of how.
And no mom would do less than the best she can.
Yeah,
that's just a natural thing. We're always doing the best for our children.
And across the board, it transpires to us as working women, as, you know, friends, as wives, as, you know, and I just think we put this realistic expectation that doesn't exist. And it starts right here.
So you tell your friend, pop a bottle and celebrate yourself.
Really celebrate yourself. And she's an incredible, incredible mom. She's an incredible working mom. And that's the thing is, I think that when you say it starts with us, there's so much judgment that goes out there, and it's like the stares, oh, did you hear about her doing this and that? Why aren't women supporting other women? And it's just one of those things that's always confused me, and I've always been left like, okay, well, I know I'm not going to be friends with you, but why don't you want other women to succeed? I mean, Lynn, there's enough people trying to hold women down.
Think of how hard we are on ourselves, and then think why women can't do it to other women, because we can't even accept ourselves for being enough. Like, yeah, the whole cycle starts literally right here. So when people beat themselves up, that's why I say guilt and shame go hand in hand. I think thankfully we don't get a lot of shame on we get very little negative comments, but I think that's because we live with a place of like, sometimes we nail it, sometimes we fail it. It is what it is. And I think the minute we stop trying to be something and just start doing our best, I think that we'll begin to lift each other up. And you just gave a shout out to your friend, and then she'll probably be able to give a shout out to another friend. You know, we'll call each other often, like, you're a great mom. Just want to let you know you're a great mom. And I think that it takes women celebrating women. But I tell my husband all the time, you're really lucky to have me.
You're lucky that we're the
mother of your children. You're really
That's right.
I love
That's why
how that
Mother's
sentence
Day
went.
should be like, what's that?
My husband, and you think she's going to say something great. How lucky he is.
Yes,
that
I
he
do.
chose this one to be the mother of his children.
You know what? I do. And I'm like, and I'm very lucky to have you. But
Oh,
you're
yes.
very lucky to have me too.
Very.
Like, that's what I mean. We have to own that we're great people.
Yeah.
God, I didn't mean to go this way, but I'm feeling very passionate about
It's very authentic.
As both of you always are, which is what everyone loves about you. You know, I wonder about your husbands. One, because the two of you are like a married couple. And they've been so supportive of your traveling and being gone for a long time. And, you know, I mean, they seem like they could not be more supportive of what you're doing.
Well,
it's been a long road.
Here's a mom truth.
it's
Okay.
been a long road.
And lots of bumps and hurdles
And some
How did you
tough
navigate
mud,
that? Because it's hard in relationships when there are, you know, the women that oftentimes do a big chunk of the work, that are gone a lot traveling. I have a number of friends. They're in consulting and they're all over and they're only home on the weekends. How do you guys deal with it?
Well, a few things. It took a while, and honestly, when we were first moms, we thought that we were the only ones who knew how to do it right. And even if we were to leave it to them, we'd go and like clean up the mess because it wasn't the way that we would have done it. And we didn't realize how capable these men actually are, even though they do it their own way. And through traveling and leaving, they have gained their own confidence. They were always capable. We just never gave them the space to get confident. And you need practice to be that way. So
the best thing we did was leave and give them their own space to parent the kids how they do it and have a relationship that was beyond us, because most mommy and daddy, it's mommy and daddy or mommy, not just daddy.
And honestly, the coolest thing was when we would come back from a trip and you'd wake up the next morning and they would be like, Daddy, can I have some water? And you're like, oh my God, it's like music to my ears. Now it always comes back to mommy, but it just shows them that daddy's capable of doing it too. Side note, we also hire extra help while we're gone, and our mothers are very involved. So it takes a village when mommy goes away.
It does
Daddy
take a
goes away,
village
mommy
in
stays.
general.
Yeah, no, we also
ahead.
tell them, we choose them. Like I choose to have a relationship with you, and I need her, which is not, that is something that is like more powerful when we choose you. I don't need your money. I don't need you. I love you as a partner. I choose you as a partner, but I need my girlfriends. And I think that is, I don't need a man, but I need she's like my spouse in a way, but no, you're bigger than my spouse. She's like my right hand. She's like part of me, you know?
Yeah.
And there's no expectations here, but with my husband, I choose him. I could choose a lot of people, but I choose you, you know?
Yeah. I think that
really bad. Yeah.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
That does not sound really bad. You know, to be superficial, somebody was commenting and said, Nat, your zebra sweater is so beautiful. Where did you get this?
Anthropology, baby.
All right, I just had to get that in there because somebody was asking, and I'm always curious.
It also covers your butt too. Long.
And camel toe.
Okay, the hearts have just blown up there, Nat. They've just blown up. You are also so lucky to raise daughters. You know, I have 2 boys, and that's one thing. I'm such a happy and joyful boy mom, but I always really wanted a daughter so that I could teach them how to be that strong, independent, amazing woman that the 2 of you are. And I have fallen in love with what your daughters have done during this time of quarantine. And I just want you to share it with everybody out there, all of these people who are watching right now, because if you want to have any moment where you know you are winning as a mother, it's what they have done.
It's really funny that it's resonated with so many people, and we didn't really recognize the power of it until people started to kind of point it out to us. But it kind of goes back from a long time where a lot of the clothes that we try to order for our girls don't fit.
Yes.
So it's like they're 10 years old and I ordered size, this has been forever. This is forever. But recently I ordered size 14 and 16 jeans for a 10-year-old and none of them fit. So the whole mental thing of sizing starts now, right? As a 10-year-old girl. And this has been since they've been little, and we've always had to struggle finding clothes. So we've always had the conversation with them, you know, like this isn't representation. Like they are like, why? And I'm like, I can't explain it, but you know, society's messed and it's going to take girls like you to change the way we do these things. And so we've always had this conversation about clothing lines, and they've wanted to for like 2 years now, right? Like, because it's either like Mickey Mouse, which they don't resonate with in cartoons, or like these like crop tops and jeans that are super tiny, and they're not super tiny. They're our size basically.
Yeah.
So they had started creating their own tie-dyes and doing their own clothes, and because it was too expensive to buy the tie-dye, because tie-dye is really expensive online. So then we had extra merch, and they were like, we're gonna tie-dye that and get these out there to women, kind of like our own clothing line. So in their head it's their own clothing line, even though they're selling it to women, but they're now wearing it because it fits them, etc. So we have a whole bunch of merch that we used to take on the road and sell it on the road, but now they're creating their own. They're doing, Lynn, they go to the store to find the bleach. It's sold out. They bring the bleach home. They get gloves.
They're in there for hours, right?
Hours. And because of bleach, it's in my open garage, but they had to do trial and error for the different, like, measurements of how much bleach to water and how many elastics to use and all of that. And the two of us were raised by single moms who definitely worked really hard to make money. So we want to teach our kids that, like, how to earn money, how to have a bank account, how to invest your money. So it's also an exciting time to teach them all about that. And, sometimes when they want to cut corners or do different things, we show them in a business, this is how you do it. And
like, they were like, oh, let's just watch, like they wanted to like kind of scrap one. I'm like, you can't, that's $60 sitting right there that you're about to, and they're like, got it. So we'll have to wait and do it, so we're trying to teach them the business side. And my mom called and was like, Olivia, what's your favorite part about doing this? And I mean, I love her because at 10, God bless her, she's like, making money. And I was like, you know what? Good for you. She's like, I love tie-dye and I love making money. And I'm like, you know what? I am not going to tell you not to love anything else, because you're 10. And if you have an entrepreneur spirit and you want to be a woman, because if a guy was to say it, we'd all be like, you know what, girl? Yeah. If you want to make money and you're going to find a way.
And then we're also teaching them that there's a lot of opportunity to create more. And if you hire your brothers at a very low cost to do a smaller job, you could get it out, because the boys now are like, I want the money, and we're like, okay, well, the tie-dye is the girls, but maybe they could wrap up the packages.
You're gonna have Canadian police there at your front door being like, I'm sorry, how much are you working for?
They just hired another tween one of our employees has a seventh grade daughter. So they taught her, they did the video and sent it to her, and they were like, this is how you do it. So now we have another employee. They have an employee that they're helping to manage, who is doing it on her driveway too. So we're basically employing, the girls. And I'm like, there's no pressure. No one has to do this, but they are like, what to do it, And
my daughter
just sign this right here that gives us all the rights to the
yeah, and they can get fired. My daughter had a bad attitude yesterday. She got fired for like the night. She got rehired this morning after a long review of the behavior. But she's on thin ice right now.
And my son, actually, he wanted to get hired, but he had a bad attitude yesterday. I go, if you were in an interview right now, you would not be hired. So he had to come back again.
He's interviewing again today
for the interview.
Do you have one of them nearby that we can see?
Max?
Oh yeah, he's a good time. Come here.
Oh, how many have they made?
Can you come here for a second?
Oh yes, this boy is trying very hard to get hired. I don't know what he's willing to do. Hello, sir. So you're looking to be a part of our business, is this correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I'm 8.
Careful. Yeah.
You're
8. You love, don't push it. You love hockey,
Tie-dye.
and tie-dye.
Let me see. Stand up. Let me see that tie-dye.
This one is a bought one at a very expensive cost.
Too expensive.
So we have to make them at a different cost. Now this little boy wants to get hired, but what do we have to have? What kind of attitude do we have to get hired?
Good attitude.
Good attitude.
Good attitude, and also make your mom breakfast.
Yeah.
He does, actually. And he cleans up.
He said bye.
You leaving?
And you clean up? Can you come over and train my boys?
I know. Oh, Lynn, you know what? This has actually been a really great time to teach kids, because now we have the time to do it. Cooking cleaning, helping out around the house, gardening, because they're kind of bored. So they're like doing things, and I'm like, okay, undo the dishwasher. And instead, I would, back in the day, I'd be like, do it. We gotta go. I'm like, you know what? Take a break, come back. But I'm not undoing that dishwasher. They will become your little worker bees.
Oh, he's already started. I have him on, and that was something that they told me when the second one came, is give him things to do to help with the baby, because then he'll feel like he's a part of it, and he gets so excited if I'm like, can you go throw away the poopy diaper in the trash can? And he's like, absolutely, Mom.
I love that. Some kids really love jobs.
You're hired.
You're
yeah,
hired.
We all miss you on the road. We all miss seeing your shows and things like that, but you have some ways that people are still connecting with you, which I love that I saw that you're doing this virtually.
I have to tell you, we started virtual a year ago, doing these virtual nights for women who couldn't leave the house because couldn't get babysitters, or, you know, during different circumstances, or to bring them a show at a lesser cost. And people would come and it would be a great night. And then when this hit, we started doing it every Thursday. And I can't wait for Thursday nights now. And I understand. I only imagine, now I know what it's like for women who never got out of the house to not have a community, because that's kind of how it feels. But Thursday nights are like, she goes, I can't wait for tomorrow night. It's Thursday night. And we dress up. We bring on guests, male guests.
We have cocktail themes.
We have theme night.
I'll ask Coy if he wants to join you.
And Lynn, people did pregame in the Facebook group, and we did our wedding dresses one night and prom and that. Like everyone gets so committed, and they all chat. And I mean,
they have Facebook groups where they have pre-drinks before they come to our event
and post all their pictures. Like, it's just, it has been a lifeline for us and for many other people. And we literally laugh, and like, I get drunk, and I don't, because I drink one or two drinks. I get lit really quickly. And when I get lit, I get really naughty. And
she has the show is 1 hour, and right afterwards she goes up to bed. Yeah. Her husband's up there having a glass of red wine. He's like, are you going to sit down and chat?
Is it Thursday night?
Every Thursday night.
People, it's become like a cult, like, following. I mean, I think we have like 2,500 women that come.
Well, that's what I was going to say, you guys. The comments are blowing up with this. It's like, I live for Thursdays now. Yeah. Thursdays is all I'm looking forward to during the week.
Yeah.
Me too.
And
that's exactly how I feel.
And then we celebrate. We always highlight a woman who's helping out another woman, and like, we call them, and then we send them a necklace, like a best friend necklace. And I mean, Thursday nights are like life for us.
And then we do
everybody else
giveaways. Apparently. So people get free stuff. Why not?
Yeah.
I love free stuff.
It's like a really naughty Oprah show. You get a thing. You get a thing.
Exactly what I was thinking when I thought about it.
And then your husband's sort of like looking at his watch.
But
I was like, when is this going to wrap up? Like, wrap it up, ladies. Send
Yeah.
When do you guys think you're going to get back on the road?
Lynn.
We have shows booked, like.
Do you have shows booked?
Yeah, we do, but you know, we're moms, and we have moms, so the safety of our moms will always be number one. And you know, we would never want anyone to get exposed to something and bring it back to their family. So I think everyone's just kind of waiting, right? And the reopening is a lot.
It's very complicated
and very different in each city. So
as soon as the theaters say it's safe, we will be there.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the check mark.
It was so sad. I wanted to give you a hug through the screen. I know it. I can tell
we're really
you
sad.
guys missed it, because I think as much as you give to all of the women that come to see you, I think they give a lot to you as well.
Oh my gosh, it is
that
unusual.
comes across of just how connected. I mean, the two of you have a bond that, you know, is like no other. But I think getting this from other women, it's like you can't beat that. Oh, Veronica's asking if the Baltimore show is still in July.
Veronica,
we just talked about Baltimore with our team last night.
I'm going to tell you, we are,
and no,
it won't be. But we will get the money back to you, or move the date. That's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah, but we live in Canada. We got to be able to cross the border first.
Yeah, that's the thing. Someone else was asking whether you, obviously, your families are quarantining together. They asked if they could join your bubble, but but how are you guys working this out? Have you just sort of like COVID habitated?
So they just sort of released some of the like restrictions, if you will. So you can bring back like your babysitters and your like the immediate people who help you. So ultimately, Nat is my babysitter.
There you go.
And I'm Nat for our children. You know, we get a lot done via. I mean, I think this is the hardest thing on women. And our latest Mom Truth was like, you know, this new normal doesn't really take into consideration women and working women. And, you know, for the two of us, we work together and our kids babysit each other. Basically, the older ones take care of the little ones so that we can work. So, I mean, the babysitters are part of that's kind of how we're doing it, is like we childcare together, and we are doing everything we can to get a long-term house together so that we can have a bigger house where we can both be in one house where we can work and have the kids together, because we're doing podcasts and interviews and, you know, we're trying to make it all work, but I don't think anyone's really taking care of the women in this situation.
Are you guys you're talking about moving in? That's a big step. Moving in together?
Well, we'll keep our houses.
Big step.
But our job would be a lot. I think the mental load for us would be significantly less if we were in the same house and could work 24/7 versus these little spurts for trying to get done. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You know, a lot of people are commenting on exactly what you just said, Kat, because all of us feel this. We're being asked to do the impossible. I've said this over and over and over again. I wrote something for CNN.com about this. It's unrealistic for women to be able to parent, educate, in many cases work, and quarantine.
Yeah.
Can you give some sort of just words of wisdom to all those out there that just feel like, I can't do this. This is all just too much. And the possibility of school not being in come fall. It's
So I'll be honest, half of our kids have dropped out of school.
Yeah,
it's true.
So are we the other half?
Oh yeah, half. Yeah.
One of mine has like, for lack of a better word, special needs and learning. So he is a private tutor. That's all he's getting is for twice. So two of ours have like special learning needs. So they have a private tutor that comes in. He gets 120 minutes a week. That's it. And the other one, we're not doing it all. And this is my point, that at least if they were like, we're barely getting our work done out the door and we have things we have to get done. So I'm kind of like, I don't have words of wisdom, because I think that we're lucky that we still have a job. And I think of all these women who are single moms and have kids at home and are trying to teach and don't know how they're going to make $1. Like, I just think that, like, you know what? Kids are resilient. And in this time when you think it's a challenge, it's probably their biggest thing that they're learning, and they will bounce back and they will probably be better people because of your struggle, even if you're struggling. And, you know, if you can find the light in each day, that's really a win. If you can find,
even if it's just a little window,
like a walk with your kids where they are laughing, then you've won.
Yeah. Hearts just blew up on that one, and I could not agree with you more.
Yeah.
It is exactly the way, you know, I say all the time, you cannot change what's going on, but you can change how you handle it and how you view it. And, you know, we're doing things we would have never done before. And, you know, my littlest one I haven't missed a single word he started saying, which I never even saw the children in the morning. You know, I left before they were all awake. And this is just, you know, I know that there's this hardship, but we have to give our children that joy each day. And you guys are doing an incredible job at that, and giving everyone the advice that they need during these days. Ladies, I cannot thank you enough for joining me. It was like just a much needed half hour of my life.
Oh,
next time I'll bring the mimosa. But
Lynn, we have to get you on our podcast that we
I would love
remotely. So we'll figure that out, and we would love to have you. Cheers.
I would love it, girls. And can we make sure that we air it like sometime after 5? Because my mom guilt is like, if I start before 5, then I get really tired and I can't do bedtime. So
We
we're
are
with you.
the
We battle
same.
for
We're
some
not day
cocktails.
drinkers.
If I'm going to bed at 9, I have to start drinking at 8. I cannot drink. I have to back it up an hour. I have 1 hour of drinking time, and then it's out like a light sun.
Like a light.
And then your husband will get some, which we learned today.
Oh, thank you for
You
having
ladies
us.
are the
Lynn.
best,
Lynn.
and I really would love to join your podcast one day. We'll get this all worked out. In the
We got
meantime,
this.
keep doing all the wonderful things you're doing for all of the women out there and their husbands who are appreciating that you're keeping us all happy.
Say hi to Koi for me.
Don't worry.
Bye,
I'll drop
girl.
a little
Thank
furry
you.
in here and make sure that maybe joins next time. Bye, ladies.
Bye, Lynn.